Hey everyone, welcome back to the studio. My name is Lolita. Today's going to be a quick video. I have a couple custom orders that I'm trying to get done, but one of them was interesting. I've never seen this before, or this style, I should say. I do a lot of pot holder styles, like panhandle covers and stuff like that, but I've never seen one quite like this. I had a customer reach out, show me some pictures and stuff like that, and she showed it with a kettle, and I thought it was a really interesting idea. But it's this. There's a split here. It's fully open on the bottom. And so when you have a handle, like on a kettle, it slips over top of it and you can grab it like that. And of course you have your hanger. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever seen one like this. So today I'm going to go over how I'm making these. Of course I don't have a pattern, so based off of her pictures and the size and measurements and all that, I've constructed a way of building them that works out pretty good. And I'm going to show you quickly how it's done. So let's go ahead and get started on this today. So today's project, you will need basically two different kinds of cotton fabrics. And basically your pattern itself is a half oval. So this one is approximately, what, 8 by 5. And yeah, and that's all you need to make this. So if you do want the full completed pattern, I will be making that, and it will be in my Etsy shop. You can purchase it there. This is just going to be a general overview. It's not a difficult pattern, but if you do want, like I said, the full pattern, they will be available in my Etsy shops. So the biggest thing with this pattern is making sure not to get too much bulk up in here when the layers come together. Because if it's too bulky, you're not going to stitch it very well, and it's just going to... So that was the biggest challenge with this one, is figuring out how to take care of that bulk. So I am cutting 2 because, like I said, I am making sets. And this is just 100% cotton fabric, which is best to use when you are making anything to do with heat. Okay, and for the hanger portion of it, all we need is a 2 by 6 inch strip. And that just cleans up my bolt for the next one. So that's for my hanger. There's for, oh, I need 2 of those. Ooh, I almost messed up. So there's my tops, there's my bottoms. Oops. There's my hangers. Now we need the inside. And the customer wanted 2 layers of batting, with one of them being insulated. She wants to use these for more than just, kettle handles. So she does use these just like regular pot holders. So we'll go ahead and do that. So this is a wrap and zap batting. So there's no stable in it. So no chance of any weird meltdowns. Next we have our insul-bright. Highly recommended for pot holders. And as you can just see, I'm just lining everything up straight up on here and cutting out. There's our backs, our inside, and there's those. Let's go ahead and head to the sewing machine. So today we are using the Juki TL 2010Q sewing machine, and I have it loaded up with just basic black thread. It is a polyester blend, so that's fine. And I have on a walking foot. If you don't have one of these for your machines, I highly recommend them when you're doing, thick layers or a lot of different layers or like a silky layer. A walking foot helps keep everything straight as it's sewing through, and they are absolutely wonderful. They are beastly. I mean, looking at like 4.5 inches long, but they are definitely worth it. So the first part to this is I'm going to go ahead and get the hanger portion done. You can make this any size you want. I use 6-inch. It usually works really good around most knobs, but all I'm going to do is fold it in half lengthwise, press in press in the seam. You can do this on the iron too if you need to. And then I'm going to bring the edges to that center seam, both of them, just like that. And fold it in half. And again, you take it to the iron and press it all in if you would like to. Now I'm going to do about an 1/8 inch seam allowance on each side. And just do a straight stitch. Okay, there's one side, and you flip it over and you do the other side. And there you have it. Okay, now we're going to quilt stitch, and you can do the quilt stitching however you want, being that this is cotton batting with no stable in it. You do want to make sure you're stitching every 3 to 4 inches, and I'm just going to do a little weave in and out around, the bumblebees kind of thing. But again, do whatever you want on this part. The main thing with this part is stay off or away from the edge by the 1/4 inch. So I am going to start here, but a 1/4 inch inward, and I will do a back stitch. Reason being is we're going to be trimming away this batting because of how thick it is. We don't need it that thick on the edge. Again, trying to get rid of that bulk. There we go. Kind of looks like a beehive, doesn't it? It's kind of cute. Alright, so now I'm going to fold back my cotton, and I'm going to trim off a 1/4 inch of the batting off of the edge. Okay, now on this, I'm going to find center along that straight line and mark it with a pin for right now. Hey everyone, I'm going to pop in here real quick, and there's a section in this that I found a way better way of doing, and I don't know why I did the first way that way, but you know what? When you're making a new pattern or trying to figure one out, you find little tips and tricks the more you make the item. So I'm going to dub over the one little part, add in a different one. It's going to be different fabric, so don't freak out. It's the same pattern, just a better way of doing something, so check it out. Alright, so on this part here, when we are getting ready to add the hanger, I have this, trimmed away. I trimmed it beforehand for this one, which does work out, but sometimes it'll slide around, and you'll end up having to trim it again. That's why it's, you know, better when you get to this point, just make sure you have a 1/4 inch across here. But anyways, so I'm getting ready to add the hanger, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to find my center, which is on the 4. I will mark it with a pin so I know. And what I'm going to do is take my hanger, fold it in half. I'm going to put it on both sides, one on each side, but I'm going to overhang a 1/4 inch beyond the seam, okay? And I'm going to run a stitch about an 1/8 inch onto the fabric. So approximately right there. And this is just a stay stitch, so I'm not worried about back stitching at this point. So what this does is when I get to the next part of it, you know, sew on the back of it, and then turn it right side out, I can just push this around and it gives a nice line. So that is what we're doing on that. So from here, we stitch on the back like we do with the other, or did in the rest of the video. So get it to lay down, line up, pin it if you need to. Leave an opening right here. So I'll start here, stitch to the edge, or to 1/4 inch from the edge, stitch all the way around, and then stop about right here, okay? So I've pinned the lining fabric over top of the other fabric so that the right sides are together. I started leaving about, you know, 3-inch opening around where the hanger part is. I started over here, 1/4 inch seam allowance. I've stitched to the edge, and now I'm going around with a 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to 1/4 inch, I'm going to take it all the way to my next needle and back stitch there. And that is my stopping point. So now from here, we're going to turn it right side out, but first we're going to trim up, or trim off the corners, like that, so it lays nice and flat. Come on. And I use a chopstick to push it out. Push out my edges all the way around, get it to lay flat. So it finishes up pretty much the same way, just, you know, it'll be like that. So flip it around, make sure the fabric is over the batting. Take your lining, the 1/4 inch seam allowance, fold over, line it up nice and neat so that everything is in, where are we? Everything is in a good line, like that, and pin it in place. And I'll throw in some more pins here to get it to line up nice and neat, just like that. And I'll stitch it just like I do in the rest of this video with the other one. Alright, so now we have an interesting, like, shovel. Fold it in half along, bringing the sides together, getting your corner down here all lined up. Okay, and your hanger is going to be over top of each other, so it makes a nice loop. So you're going to mark from your edge 1 inch inward, I use that, just lay it on top like that, leaving room for my foot. Line it up so that my stitching is going to be right over top of the stitching that is already there. And I'm going to go to that 1 inch mark, just like that. Okay, so I'm 1 inch from my edge, right on top of my already seam that's there, and I'm going to stitch from there all the way to the end. And there you go. Trim away the excess. This little opening helps, you know, when you're putting it on the handles and everything. You can hang it up with the hanger. And it's a nice little cup. Well, and there you have it, folks. 2 little pot holders, interesting style. Again, if you've ever seen these, leave a comment below. Tell me where you've seen them, because I've never seen this style and I actually really like it. I think I might be making some for my Etsy shop. It is pretty cool. So yeah. But yeah, you can watch this and get the general idea of how to do it. If you need the full pattern, those will be available in my Etsy shops. Links are in the description down below. If you want to pick up your own and you don't want to sew them, yeah, you can either message me on my Etsy shop for Creations by Lolita, or like I said, I might be adding a few of these to the Etsy shop itself, because they are an interesting concept. The only problem is I really don't have a kettle to show them, but they are useful on other than kettle handles. So I might have to pick me up a tea kettle or borrow one. All right, there you have it. Hope you liked this little quick video, and I hope you try to make these if you're a sewer. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one, and stay creative.